The body is anything itself. The qualities it possesses, and the amount of pressure it exerts in its environment. In context to the individual, it's all about how they affect the material world. The world of items, objects, beings, and places. And the individual richly immersed in this world would be what I like to call body-driven. The first aspect we have is vitality. Qualities, sensations, memories, immersion, health. This aspect reflects being in your body and everything that comes with that. The weight of your limbs, the tantalizing joys, the devastating traumas, and the subtle emotional textures between those highs and lows. One can imagine a person idling, seemingly resting. But, unbeknownst to others, they're completely absorbed in a vibrant sea of impressions, and something at any given point is at the center of it all, the thing that is most obvious to them, whatever that may be. Vitality encompasses the ever-immersive first-person experience, the various parts that compose this state of being and where they happen to be positioned. And those favoring it often have a strong affinity for memories, as well as textures, tastes, hues, and other various details. The slightest impression is able to trigger a vivid memory, a wave of nostalgia, and/or a sharp emotional, physical pain. Such people, generally, tend to hold a strong reliance on their personal experience above all else, are easily absorbed into any strong impression, good or bad, as soon as it's triggered, and have a tendency to surround themselves with memorabilia, which can escalate into hoarding. But in this, they're often grounded in the present moment, and are fully in tune with the subtleties of what they feel, where they feel it, and how it manifests in other people, as if they, in some sense, share the other person's body. The medicinal, therapeutic, sanitary, and culinary calls to each of them, as they all involve helping others return to what often needs their attention the most, those subtle little things that are right in front of them. Next is breadth, force, strength, gravity, reach, impact. This aspect reflects the exertion of pressure, be it from oneself or from something in their surrounding environment. If vitality is the impression that is felt, breadth is the impression that is made. One can imagine an object placed on a rubber sheet, and the object distorts the sheet depending on how heavy it is. The greater the weight, the deeper the dent, and thus the greater the breadth. The brightest, loudest, or sharpest sight, sound, taste, or otherwise is usually what characterizes something of significant breadth. And generally, those favoring breadth will seek and try to reflect such sensations for themselves, for stimulation, and to make a statement. Such individuals generally tend towards aggression, are prone to use excessive physical or verbal force, and hold strong fixations on material objects or specific data, like numbers and figures, especially money and the items it can buy. But in this, they have a great affinity towards leveraging the material world, people, places, things, and pushing with relentless tenacity for maximal impact, quickly becoming the center of any social structure they find themselves in. And lastly, we have presence, differences between bodies, gauging fixations and their various aesthetics. It's the awareness of vitality and breadth, often leaning towards one or the other. To differentiate the two, leaning towards breadth is noticing how anything impacts anything else, be it objects, places, or themselves and other people. They're prone to signal, point out, or sharply criticize their own impact, especially in comparison to others. With this, they tend to know what something is missing to give it that extra boost or flair that will command the attention of many, and they add it without question. In tune with their intuitive measure of impact, they often glean the force and degree of power someone has in comparison to themselves or others. With this, they're inclined to try and radically tilt the scale by either boosting the power of the lower end, or diminishing the power of the higher end. In either case, conflict and collision are sure to occur. Leaning towards vitality is noticing the condition of items, objects, or themselves and other people. Whatever the focus is, it's placed solely on something's overall quality and how well it's doing compared to the quality of other things. They often point out how some physical experience comforts or disturbs them, or especially others, in the precise manner that it does. With this, they possess a great capacity to keenly identify and differentiate between specific particulars and information, for example, numbers, calendar dates, colors, tastes, sounds, sights, and smells, and they may do so far better than many others. Everyone uses all three aspects in their day-to-day lives, but they do seem more pronounced in some people more than others. There's far more that can be said about each aspect. How they manifest in each person, how they affect society, and even how they seem to permeate one's environment, affecting their very being as well as their development. But for now, this is where the body ends, and it's only a mere sample of what is to come.